Okay, so this video is going to be about incels. Though unlike most videos on incels, I am not going to be giving them life advice, and to be honest, most of them will not want to listen to my advice, so why should I bother? They consider themselves incels for their variety of different reasons, and it is usually because they believe Chad and Stacey simply do not like them, so in this video, they will not be getting life advice. However, they will be getting some linguistic aid about their label. The term incel is, for want of a better word, a contradiction. It is such a contradiction that, to be honest, only lazy, poorly educated neets on the internet could have possibly have come up with such a label. The term incel is short for involuntarily celibate. They believe that due to various factors, the Chads and Staceys already mentioned, though I must add that the Staceys are considered part of the problem because they choose the bad guys, the Chads, over the nice guys or the supreme gentleman. Basically, it is the women always choose the bad guys, nice guys always finish last cliche. Another reason is these men are just so thoroughly unattractive that they cannot get a date to save their lives. Whether or not they are physically attractive or not does not matter. They cannot get any poontang. But that is just a few examples off the top of my head. There are so many, but the idea that this makes them involuntarily celibate is just ridiculous. Let us break down the words. Firstly, what does involuntary mean? It is self-evident, but I will define it nevertheless. If you type into Google involuntary meaning, you get the following definitions: done without will or conscious control, and done against someone's will, compulsory. Again, self-evident. Involuntary means something that you cannot help, something that you did not consent to, and something that is not in conscious control. Incels cannot help being currently sexually inactive beyond masturbation, if the individual chooses to masturbate or not. But then we get to the other word, and then things quickly start to develop into the paradox. We will do the exact same thing with celibate as we did with involuntary, and what do we find? Abstaining from marriage and sexual relations, typically for religious reasons, and a person who abstains from marriage and sexual relations. Herein lies the contradiction. In the dictionary definition of the word celibate, as defined through centuries of use, the term celibate is something you consciously choose to do. You choose to forego any sexual pleasure for whatever reason you see fit. It does not necessarily have to be sexual, as it does also mention marriage, so technically speaking, even MGTOWs and some MRAs are celibate because they refuse to get married. I myself could be considered celibate in this literal sense of the word because I do not want to get married either, though I am sexually active and do not forego sexual activity. Some MGTOWs do choose to go celibate, but again, it is a choice. You cannot divorce choice from the meaning of celibate. It is impossible. The word incel does not work. It is a linguistic paradox. It is wrong. You are not celibate, you are just simply sexually inactive or just unable to get laid. I do not understand why you do not just call yourselves virgins, beta males, or omega males, because I fail to see how that cannot sum you up better than incel. Face it, you cannot be involuntarily celibate, and if you claim you are celibate, then what are you, monks? Because a truly celibate person is somebody like a monk who doesn't want to get married and doesn't want to get laid. Are you all monks now? As the Chad alpha male decreed by arbitrary holy decree, thou shalt not procreate? Only on the internet could such a term be created, and to be honest, I do not see a lot of people unpacking such a meaningless term. I feel sorry for some of you, but until you sort yourselves out and your movement out, don't care, virgin.